Okay guys, I'm here today with Andrew Wiltse, huge honor for me. Guys, just right after his victory on Who is Number 1, where he got a submission against Gabriel Almeida, right, Andrew? And the submission was from the back, right?
It was. I'm actually going to talk about exactly what I did in that match.
Awesome, and guys,
what I do in most of my matches.
Yeah, so Andrew's shooting on instruction all about back control for no gi, and very, very interesting. And I think I'm super excited, Andrew, because I think like back attack, especially in no gi, might be the best position in no gi if you had. For example, with the gi, we can argue that mount is better, side control is better, but no gi, I think nobody would argue that back attack is better than side control. And
I would rather be on the back than anywhere.
I agree.
Under any condition, I want to be on your back because that's where I can go for the most attacks with the least chance of you being able to counter my attacks in some way.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I miss a rear naked choke, I just go for it again.
No, and, for example, no gi mount attacks are dangerous. Like they can go to heel hooks against you. Side control is really hard to maintain. I think back attack is by far
a lot of the attacks from like mount and side control, if you miss the attack, you've lost the position.
Yeah.
And that's why I like the back so much, is I can just continuously go for my attacks in a safe way, in a way that, you know, I could lose the back.
And sometimes even end up on the mount.
It's not going to be because I went for a submission usually though. Unless there are some submissions you can go for. Like I don't go for a ton of arm bars from there unless I know I'm going to for sure get it. Like you can go from the back to the armbar, but it's not the most efficient move because if you miss the armbar, you lose the back.
No, but Andrew, I really love the fact that you're teaching back attack control, because for example, maybe you can have the best back attack submission in the world, but if you can only control for 30 seconds, that might be not enough to hit the submission, right?
Yeah, you should lose the back. If you get on someone's back, unless you are so tired you can't close your arms, you should not lose the back.
There we go. So super excited to learn what you're going to show.
So I'll show you guys how I trap the arm from the back today and how I kind of work my one arm choke in, because Marcelo made this super popular, and everyone thinks I learned it from like Gordon Ryan and Danaher's system, but I actually got it from watching Marcelo Garcia when I was a blue belt. Like how he put out all the free videos of him rolling on YouTube. I just watched hundreds of hours of those, and I would just do what Marcelo did, and then I've spent years kind of working on it and developing a system out of it. Okay, so first off, when I'm on the back, I always take my opponents towards the underhook side. And the reason I do this, like I know there's a little bit of debate on this, but for me, this completely frees up my leg on the side that I'm going for my choke on, and also I think it's a little bit harder for you to get away because I can control your shoulders, I can come around, so I always take them to the underhook side. Now I have short stubby legs because I didn't eat my vegetables. I ate Panda Express when I was a kid, and I can't just like kick up and trap someone's arms without getting good angles. So for me, as soon as I get on your back, the first thing I do is I put my left foot on your hip, right in the hip flexor, and I adjust myself up away from your hips a little bit.
I can feel that.
So that little adjustment where this foot comes across just a little bit, like it's not all the way across. I'm not going to body triangle you, kind of, because I physically am incapable of doing that to anyone, but I'm just getting enough of an angle adjustment that now I can freely kick this leg up and over, and this lets me chase the arm trap from just completely ridiculous angles, even though I don't have very long legs. So let's say you're defending. Like however you're defending the neck, however you're defending the back, there's a few different ways I can trap this arm. Let's say I'm working myself into a choke. I can always keep this arm out of play a little bit by controlling it here, but if I just try to come in and choke you, you're gonna either block, which I can then start to work myself in, or you're gonna end up grabbing my arm. Anytime someone is just grabbing my arm like this, it's a point of attachment for me. All I do is I take my arm and I will straighten it down towards your hip.
Got it.
And at the same time I do this, I start to kick up and over, and I trap both of my arms by the heel.
Got it.
Because now I can put downward pressure with my heel, and I can start to peel my arm out. And at this point, guys, you are actually safe to cross your feet.
Got it.
I wouldn't cross my feet if I wasn't over his arm, but being over his arm like this changes the angle enough that even if you did kick up and over, let's say that like the really flexible guys, they can kick up crazy, it will just peel my legs open instead of actually heel hook me or break my ankle. It's not down between his legs, it's up over his body. So you can cross your feet here. And this is actually what I prefer to do unless the guys turn massively away from me like this. If they turn away, I take this and I hook it under their body to prevent the turn that way. Okay,
Yeah,
that stops the momentum, and then I can go from here and work my choke in. But I prefer to go back to crossing my feet, because crossing my feet lets me control the angle up and down and still move you around a little bit. Okay, now that's one way I'll trap the arm. Now another way I'll trap the arm, let's say you're just hand fight me for a second. Okay, if I don't feel comfortable bringing this down to my legs, anytime I can get this hand with my bottom hand, okay, I can 100% catch your arm in trap, because all I'm looking for is some kind of L in your arm. If there's any kind of L, again, I can start to kick up and over, and I can catch this with my heel, just there. Okay, and then I can start to peel that down. And then a lot of times you catch, let's say I just catch like a shitty barely, you start to circle your hand back in. I always just keep this other hand in the area, so that way when this hand starts to come out, I re-catch it. And now I can really fold that down on the second go around, and I can start to catch that even better.
I got it.
Okay, so those are two good ways you can catch the arm, but again, I can't do that very well unless I start by adjusting my angle here, because now I can kick up and over his head. I'm decently flexible, and I think flexibility helps a lot, but it's not about the flexibility, it's really about the angle. Okay, now let's say you're doing something like you're really defending your neck, like, you know, some people hold their hand behind their head like this kind of stuff. As long as I can get some kind of hand insertion here, okay, all I need to do is start attacking this arm. All right, because if I control this arm first and you're keeping your hand on the outside like that, again, I can come up and start to peel up into a choke attempt. And now you have to come over and grab it, and that's when I can peel it here, or I can peel it there.
Man, it's awesome.
So again, it comes down to like forcing dilemmas. And then after I've got this peeled and I've got this decently secured, I can start to wiggle my arm in for the one-arm chokes and all of that.
That's amazing. No, that's amazing. Yeah, so you try to figure out ways of how can you trap this arm over here, right?
Yes. I can do both sides, but that's the side I prefer. Now, the reason I actually started doing this as much as I did is I had an injury at one point on both of my shoulders where I had my AC ligament almost kind of torn off. Like, it was a very bad injury at separate times, and I couldn't keep a lot of pressure like this. So I would get full rear naked chokes, and no matter what I did, my shoulders were so weak at the time that people could peel my arms down because I couldn't keep that pressure with that ligament. So then I had to trap the arm, and now I can't go back.
I got it. No, I got it. Oh man, so just one more time, like the full move, so just so everybody can see. So you're here, I'm trying to protect my neck. Boom. Okay.
Now that's something I didn't talk about. That's just attack of opportunity. I didn't have to go down very far. You can kind of kick this leg up and over and spam it a little bit, as long as I'm keeping good pressure with my other leg, so you don't freely turn. You can spam these out. You can keep this pretty high.
And
again, it's just about me getting my heel between his arm, just in that L anywhere. It could be down by his elbow, it could be up by his wrist, and I can start to peel that down, because even if it's a very bad catch, like I said, he starts to get his hand back. I just keep my other hand, just circle your hand back in, like under. Yeah, I just keep this ready to catch it again.
Almost like a shoot.
Yeah, this right here. It just hangs out in that area. And now I'll get it for sure very tight on the second one. And then I can go over here, I can peel that out of play, and all I have to do is just keep my hand turned out, and then I can start to whisper sweet nothings. Well, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, that's awesome. And that's what you did in the Who's Number One?
Yeah, I did it on my last two, actually. I did it the same thing to David Garmo, and I did it to Gabriel Almeida.
Man, that's awesome. No, that's really good. So guys, Andrew just shot this entire instruction, this very complete instruction, all about back control, and it's gonna be at bjjfanatics.com soon. And make sure to check that out. Maybe by the time you're watching, it's already there. So thanks so much, Andrew. Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.